It's Adam Dunbar, 12:14 p.m., doing something called America Calls, sort of a perspective of America from me. And don't start commenting until you actually listen to the whole thing. So how do I start this? I don't know where or how to begin this. Introspective, obtuse creation. This living thing shucking off mental manacles and howling at the sun. This living thing that I unleash upon this lamp-washed page. This muse, this rage that attempts to define. I am as deep and as broad as my country. My country is my home, is my life, is my I the singular, the plural, the verb, and the noun. My I seeks some understanding of the mighty how and shrieking why, seeks the understanding of that southern colossus, that republic that lies with its shoulders hunched up and its head bumping against the parallel. Our nosy, abstract neighbor calls out to me tonight, and seeking some anything from life's understanding. I get away from my city and I leave it behind. I drive with a thirst for this understanding. I'm hard for knowledge. I'm seeking someplace quiet, to be, to hope, to meet, to see what we are all made of, what defines and shapes us. I've been suspicious with the knowledge that we two are so different, that the only thing that makes me Canadian is the fact that I'm not American. Well, I refuse to believe this, so now I will settle for nothing less in a conversation with the country of America. I find myself standing in a boat, amidships, in fog, on Ontario, Superior, Huron, Erie, Michigan. Does it matter? I'm here to conjugate this verb. America is on this boat, amidships, and belonging to anyone, and belonging to everyone, belonging to no one. I sense my soul, my mind, my heart, and my body. Every fiber of my being twitches with this newfound reality. America, to echo another. I'm everything and nothing, and yet I'm a part of you. Stranger from the north has come here looking to find you. This boat, amidships, in fog. I scream to show that I belong here, that I am here, being. Freighters ghost by me, stirring the peace. The waves set me to rocking that give birth to a breeze. That same breeze that folds the coverlet of the Allegheny. That same breeze that licks the breasts of the Ohio, the Missouri, the old Mississippi. That same breeze that brings me the past, the stutters, the speeches, the disreputable rumblings of great men, of despots, of glorious tyrants, of Jefferson in Virginia teaching with brilliance his patience and courage, of the slave songs and whip cracks of fettered America, of Harriet Tubman and the way north to freedom, of the sweat stink of chain gangs toiling in August, of the awful passion in Salem, the bang of the gavel, the snap of the rope, of the long-headed jazz from 30 Chicago, of the roar of the guns, pick your decade, of the thundering denunciations in the American Senate, of the pulpit of hatred that Joe McCarthy built and that others still use, of the black powder bang and the home cannon's roar, of the North and the South, of mine eyes have seen the glory of old Dixie, of the Negro regiments marching through Pittsburgh and New York, of the wounded men dying on the ground of Antietam, of the wounded men dying in the trenches of France, of the wounded men dying on the push to Berlin, of the wounded men dying in the hills of Korea, of the wounded 4 dying on the grass of Kent State, of the wounded ones dying in the streets of the ghettos, of this new breed of poets who slash with new pens and tear up the new page. They live with defiance and scream out what's unjust. They write the new anthem, the new hope, the new trust. No more E pluribus unum, give us dona nobis pacem. This theme to be woven into the quilt of America. Dona nobis pacem, the slave screamed in the face of the despots. The hanged screamed in the face of the judge. The soldier screamed in the face of the battle. The poets cried for their generations. Dona nobis pacem, the Chinese coolies picked in the clay. The Japanese whispered from internment camps. The natives yelled from their reservations. Our black brothers screamed from the roof of their projects. Our white brothers screamed from the roof of their projects. The blue-collar worker screams from the scaffold. The white-collar worker slashes and memos. Dona nobis pacem, our humanity wept when Abe, Calvin, John, Robert, Martin, Malcolm, and the most insidious death of all, Dr. Charles Drew, were killed because of apathy and ignorance. This new old poem, this new old prayer, Dona nobis pacem, give us peace. Let us rest safe in the knowledge of our dignity and freedom. Put this thing we know as America back into bed. Pull up her covers and kiss her soft head. Her blonde hair and blue eyes, her black hair and dark eyes, her red hair and green eyes, her brown hair and brown eyes. Kiss all of her. Make love to all of her. Bear no malice. Hold off the old grudge. Bring an open mind to this table of half-forgotten nationhood. I tell you that we have all suffered, we have all fought, we have all bled, and we have all wept for this thing called country. I'm a part of it all now, and I let everything affect me. We are a part of it all now. We are all citizens, empowered as brothers and sisters. Our rights lie in our common humanity. We all forged this place and shared this ideal. We all bent and smelted and molded this dream. And now, if we deny any part of America, we deny the whole of it. And now I see that this is the crux of the problem. This is the horrible blemish on the fabric of country. You have to see that we are all a part, a whole. The persons, the I, are all the same thing. We say, America cried when John Kennedy died, cheered when Custer was killed, heard Abe Lincoln's proclamation from the banks of the Mississippi. America rose to her feet when Babe hit the ball deep and was sick with regret when Landis expelled the infamous 8, and shaking our heads at Hank's unreachable mark, and holding our breath when Unitas was on the field. America's humanity screamed at the flight of the Enola Gay and stood on Main Street and kissed when the war was over, and helped our daddies build bomb shelters. America smoked grass and listened to poets at the Starlight's Cafe, and burned our draft cards in that glorious summer, and lay dying in a rice paddy somewhere in Asia, calling to God, praying for an absolution for things done, sins committed. America was blown twisting in the soft spring breeze, lynched by bastards in the sycamore trees, and lay there raped and indifferent, selling her body to make up the rent, and shot heroin in the streets of the cities, and gave birth and learned the joy of renewal. America wrote the poetry that spurned the new age, but spread the lies that led color against color, and wept with joy when the Constitution was signed, and bled at the throwing off of royal shackles, and looked up in awe when we conquered the moon, and praised for the day when we conquer our hate. America is the everyone. There's no room for small minds. There's no room for insignificant lusts and petty awful hatreds. There's no room for insane dictums that force us against each other. No room for this cold isolation. For red and blue, the words country and world must be synonymous. The poets must educate and embrace this new world. The poets must hammer down the walls of this isolation. We must use words as our chisels and stanzas as hammers. We must stand on the seashore, stretching our tongues over vast oceans to gently caress all the ears of all the others, of you and of me and of every pair of ears anthologized in the collected works of our humanity. Nothing can stop this, and everyone can share in the triumph. But everyone must bear defeats equally. Everyone must understand the common everyday gripes, bitches, and grumbles of people. Everyone must learn this America and learn it from poets. And the poets must learn this America from everyone. We must know Robert Frost wandering in woods and learn something of America. We must know Carl Sandburg stomping in cities and learn something of America. We must know Langston Hughes in the hills above Harlem and learn something of America. We must know Emily Dickinson in the truth packed tight in her verse and learn something of America. We must know E.E. Cummings in his enigma verse and learn something of America. We must know Edgar Allan Poe in The Dark Side of the Soul and learn something of America. We must know Allen Ginsberg and his commitment to passion and learn something of America. We must know old Walt Whitman eternally seeking and endlessly rocking and learn something of America. We must know all the poets from all the world and learn everything of America. We go on and we never stop turning. We are constantly looking, constantly searching for a place called country. And one can find it where I'm standing, at amidships in fog and carefully listening to the call of America in winter winds whispering, the passive Februaries through my hair and into my ears, Februaries teaching me a thing elusive and abstract, Februaries teaching what it means to be country, standing amidships in fog and endlessly rocking with the tides and the currents and the winds of our centuries.